everyone, I'm Katrina and today I have my July book haul. So all of the books that I received during the month of July, and I have quite a few to show you today. So I'm just going to jump straight in with the books that I bought. So for the first book that I have to talk about, I've mentioned it several times already, but I'm just going to pretend that there's some surprise with this. So this month there was a special event at Dymocks in Sydney City for this particular book, and at the event we were able to get finished copies signed 2 weeks before their release date, which is super special. And that book is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. So here it is. I have a signed copy of Nevernight and I'm just, it was a really wonderful event. I had a lot of fun. So Nevernight follows Mia Corvia, and when she was younger she witnessed her dad being executed as a traitor. So she's basically out for revenge and she joins this school of assassins called the Red Church. And one thing that's particularly interesting about Mia is she's able to talk to shadows. If this sounds like something you're interested in, I will be doing a full review of this one as well. You can also wait for my July wrap up and I'll go into a little bit of detail about my thoughts about this one, but I will also be doing a full review of this one. I also picked up another couple of books for one of my classes at university this semester. Firstly, I have Nobody Is Ever Missing by Catherine Lacey, and I don't really know what this one is about, but from what I can tell, the main character Illyria pretty much up and leaves her family and her life in Manhattan and books a one-way flight to New Zealand. Not sure what else happens. I guess I'll find out when I get around to it. I also picked up 13 Ways of Looking at the Novel by Jane Smiley. This isn't one of the set readings, it's just a recommended one, so I'm not sure if I'll get around to reading this one, but I might have a flick through and see if this helps out with my studies at all. And I also picked up volumes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. So I got the 3-in-1 volumes. I've already read volume 7, 8, 9, really enjoying it. And this one I haven't picked up quite yet, but probably will end up getting around to it pretty soon, I think. So this is a graphic novel series following 2 brothers. This one here is Edward and this is Alphonse. So he's lost an arm and a leg. He is a walking suit of armor. And in this universe there are these things called alchemists. And Edward here is an alchemist. He's known as the Full Metal Alchemist thanks to his mechanical arm and leg. Really enjoying this one. This next book I have 2 copies of. One I received in the YA Chronicle box for July, and the other copy I was sent unsolicited by the publishers, and that is And I Darken by Kirsten White. In my unboxing video, a few of you guys have drawn to my attention what this book is actually about. So we have Princess Lada, her brother Radu, and Mehmed, who is the Sultan's son, and the Sultan is keeping Lada captive. And this is supposed to be a Vlad the Impaler retelling of sorts, which sounds really cool. Supposed to have a really badass heroine, and those that have read it so far seem to quite enjoy it, so that has me very excited to pick this one up. And continuing on with the other books that I was sent for review this month, all of these were unsolicited, by the way. The first one is The Wolf Road by Beth Lewis. So this book follows a girl named Elka, who when she was 7 years old was taken in by a man named Trapper. However, she walks into town one day and sees a wanted poster of Trapper, and he's wanted for murder. So I think that Elka flees and the magistrate is kind of on her trail. So this sounds like a pretty interesting one. Haven't heard anything about it, so if you have read it, I'd love to know your thoughts on it. I also received a couple of books from Alan and Unwin. The first is Maggie's Kitchen by Carolyn Beecham, and this one I believe is set during the Second World War, which has me quite intrigued. And this one sounds like it's going to be a bit of a different story than what I've really come across in terms of books that are set during World War II. So it's about Maggie, who opens up Maggie's Kitchen, which is a restaurant, as a result of the Ministry of Food asking for British restaurants to open in order to feed hungry Londoners during World War II. So she managed to do this. She opens up Maggie's Kitchen, but it ends up being unexpectedly popular and she can't really keep up with demand. At least not without breaking some rules. Ooh, sounds pretty interesting. I've never really heard of anything quite like this, so very curious to see what this holds. And they also sent me The Boundless Sublime by Lily Wilkinson. I'm struggling to kind of piece together what this is about based on the synopsis. Now the synopsis of this one gives me more questions than answers in terms of what this is about. From what I can gather, the main character is named Ruby and her family is torn apart and it's all her fault, and I'm not sure if it's actually her fault or if she just blames herself or what, but she becomes friends with this person named Fox, who is part of the Institute of the Boundless Sublime, which I believe is a cult, which sounds pretty interesting. So I've kind of seen this book floating around a little bit, so again with this one I'd love to know your thoughts on it. I also received With Malice by Eileen Cook. So the main character Jill wakes up in a hospital with her leg in a cast and she's completely forgotten the last 6 weeks. During this time she was on a school trip to Italy and there was a fatal accident which obviously landed her in hospital, and I believe that her best friend doesn't survive. And this is supposed to be a bit of a psychological thriller, so maybe the accident wasn't really an accident. I've also received a copy of the movie tie-in edition of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. Now I have read this first book, I just haven't read the sequels, but the movie looks really cool. I'm really excited for it. I was going to wait to watch the trailers until I had an opportunity to do a trailer reaction, trailer talk type thing, but it came on in the cinemas and I couldn't really hide from it. Usually if a trailer comes on and I know what it is, but I want to properly react in front of camera, I will shut my eyes, block my ears, and hum to myself until it's over. But with this one, I didn't actually know what it was until a little while into the trailer, so kind of blew my plans on that one. So Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is about an island with an abandoned orphanage. And after a family tragedy, Jacob is on his way to this island, where he discovers Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which has some very interesting characters. Very interesting, indeed. That's all I'm going to say. Now, the last 4 books that I have to show you, I was sent by the lovely Cindy from Bloomsbury as a bit of a welcome to the team gift for being a part of the Because You Love to Hate Me anthology, which was very, very exciting. So thank you so much for sending these my way. It was such a pleasant surprise. It was a package of 4 books as well, so I felt super spoiled. I was given an advanced copy of The Edge of Everything by Jeff Giles. This one sounds quite interesting. So the main character, Zoe, her father passed away and one of her neighbors disappeared, and then she and her brother are in a cabin in the woods one night when they're attacked, only to be rescued by this person named X. So X is a bounty hunter, but he's sent to claim the soul of Zoe's evil attacker and others like him, which has me interested but confused as to what this is about exactly. Who knows? I was also sent The Fixer by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'm trying to figure out what this one is about as well, but from what I can gather, the main character Tess is sent to stay with her older sister Ivy, who ends up being the Capital's #1 fixer, which I believe is the person that you hire in order to kind of hide scandals, just kind of make it all disappear. So Tess enrolls in this school and finds herself on the path to becoming the school's very own fixer, and the two of them are leading double lives, and apparently there's some conspiracy of some sort, so this one sounds kind of interesting. I was also sent a copy of A Curious Tale of the In-Between by Lauren DeStefano. This is a beautiful hardcover as well. That cover is stunning. So the main character Pram is able to see the 2 worlds of the living and the dead. So she is an orphan and her best friend is a ghost, and then she meets a boy named Clarence who has also lost a parent. So Pram and Clarence find themselves on Lady Servant's doorstep, who can also see ghosts, but I think has a bit of a more sinister motive in helping them, which sounds kind of interesting. This is quite a short book as well, so I'm really tempted to pick this one up soon, see what it's all about, because it looks really cool. And the final book that I have to show you is The Leaving by Tara Altebrando. And this one sounds really cool as well. So it's about 6 kindergartners who disappear, and 11 years later, 5 of them reappear with no memory of what had happened. So I think that we follow 2 of those that had gone missing, Scarlett and Lucas, and the one that didn't return was called Max. So his sister is looking for answers and wants to know what happened to him, and she doesn't believe the memory loss story. So this one sounds really, really cool. Have any of you guys read this as well? Because I would love to know what you thought of it. I'm really, really interested in this one. So those are all of the books that I got during the month of July. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this video is probably long enough, so I won't continue rambling, but thank you all so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!